Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to the ranch. Today, I'm gonna turn my Weber Kettle into a wood-fired pizza oven. Or at least I'm gonna try to. Now, I've made pizza once before and it came out good, but it also cooked a little bit unevenly. So I did a little bit of research. I found some different ways that might help improve the cook, and I'm gonna try those today. So let's get started and see if we can make some delicious pizza. The first thing I want to do is show you how I plan on configuring the kettle this time. So the first time I made pizza, I essentially had the pizza stone in the middle and I had the coals underneath it. I think I had them a little bit off to the side. And what ended up happening is the pizza stone got pretty hot and cooked the bottom of the pizza faster than the top. I'm gonna be doing this cook a little bit differently than the last. I plan on putting all of my lit charcoal off to one side. I'm gonna use my slow and sear today to do that, but you can also just pile up all of the lit charcoal to one side of your kettle. Also, because I plan on adding some wood chunks to it, I'm not gonna use the grate that comes with the kettle because it doesn't have a really large opening, so it'll be very hard for me to kind of pile up some wood chunks on here. So I know that the company that makes the slow and sear does have a grate that has a wider opening, but I don't have that. The way I'm gonna solve for that is I'm simply gonna remove the grate. And I ended up buying these fire bricks that I picked up at my local Home Depot. And I'm just going to arrange them so that they create a stand that I can put the pizza stone on. All I need to do is place the pizza stone right on top of those fire bricks, and it's the perfect height to fit inside the kettle. I nearly filled up a chimney full of charcoal. I left about 2 inches on the top. These coals are screaming hot, so we're gonna pour them into the kettle. I'll just put the pizza stone on here and let it heat up. Just gonna leave it open a crack on this side to get a lot of extra airflow in here to get the temperature up really hot. Just gonna add some oak wood chunks to the coals. Let it heat up more. So the kettle is up to temperature. The pizza stone is about 400 degrees. So we're gonna put the first pizza on. We'll leave that on for about a minute and we'll turn it about a quarter turn. We'll just keep doing that until it's ready. A little bit of a turn. You can see the crust starting to get a little bit brown. Well, that was a complete failure. Apparently the pizza stone just broke in half or in multiple pieces. So we're gonna go get a cast iron pan and try that instead. The pizza that we put in there was only about halfway cooked, but it actually was cooking pretty well before the pizza stone broke. You can see that the top of the crust was starting to brown up a little bit, and even the bottom as well. So I think it would have worked if the pizza stone hadn't exploded, but we'll see if the cast iron pan does a better job. So after the failure of the pizza stone, we've heated up the cast iron skillet. We're just gonna finish up this pizza, see how it comes out, and then we'll put the fresh ones on. And I ordered a new pizza stone off of Amazon. Just turn this one around. Just giving another little turn. Here is the exploded pizza stone put back together. So sad. It's looking good. Starting to brown up. Leave it on a little bit longer. I think that's done. So, despite the pizza stone collapse, we salvaged this pizza. Looks pretty good. Has some good brown on the crust. Cooked underneath. So we're gonna start a fresh one now from start to finish and see how that goes. Check on you in a minute or two. So we just cut into the salvaged pizza and had a few bites of it. What do you think of it?
Yummy.
We'll try one of the fresh ones once it's finished. So this second one was taking longer to cook, and I think it was because the temperature of the kettle got down a little bit lower. So I'm gonna stoke the fire a little bit before we put the next one on. We're gonna put the third one on. Got the fire going a little stronger. We'll see if this one cooks a little faster. So with this third pizza, I definitely got the temperature up much higher than the second one, so it's been cooking faster. And you can really smell the oak. I've never used oak before. This is my first time. It smells good. It's ready to come off. There's the third pizza. Looks pretty good. Not too brown on the bottom at all, but it's cooked. We'll see how the fourth one comes out. I tried to get the fire a little extra hot because I've been noticing as this goes on longer, it's getting harder to keep the temperatures up. All right, we're gonna put the last pizza on. So the challenge I'm having with this cook is it's been really hard as it goes on to keep the temperature up inside the kettle. And I think if I had just fired up some additional chimneys of charcoal, that would help in the process. So if you're gonna make pizza, I almost feel like you need to take advantage of that early fire and get them done quick. And unfortunately, because of our little pizza stone disaster, that was a little bit hampered. This is the fourth and final pizza. I think most of the color from this one is actually from the smoke more than it actually cooking, because, well, first of all, if you look underneath, it's still pretty white and it's not super crispy on the outside. It almost looks more like fried dough. But again, the temperature was probably 300 to 350 degrees. So we have finished our pizza adventure, and I will admit it ended up being more challenging than I had thought it was going to be. Obviously you saw that the pizza stone broke while we were trying to cook that first pizza, and that pizza was coming along really well. It was cooking just fine on the top and bottom, and it was probably gonna finish up in about 10 minutes. And when that stone broke and we had to put the cast iron pan in, we had to wait a little bit of time for that pan to heat up. And so the second pizza took a little bit longer, but it came out good. But the third and fourth one, even though I was really trying to stoke those coals and, you know, add some wood to it, it just wasn't keeping it hot enough inside in order to cook those pizzas really well. And in particular, that last pizza, the fourth one, it was on there for probably 30-35 minutes. The temperature inside wasn't very high, so it ended up cooking, but it wasn't really crispy, and it was way too smoky tasting than a pizza should be. So the lesson here is to really make sure that you keep the temperature inside that kettle super hot throughout. And if you can do that and the stone remains hot, it's gonna cook just fine. But the longer you go on, the harder it's gonna be, unless maybe you add another full chimney of hot charcoal into it to really ramp those temps up fast. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it didn't go quite as smoothly as we had hoped. Give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time at the ranch.